should have come in to see us sooner.
Well, we were planning to have the baby naturally, but my wife... That is... We both decided it might be better.
You mean you realized by having a child without approved RSV screening you would give up the state medical benefits?
Howard's people are from the territories, and we were afraid that...
Relax. It happens to a lot of people. You still have time to join RSV's program and get the benefits. Take a look at the monitor. It might help you in making your decision. The Reproductive Selection Board was established after the troubles of 2020, when the worldwide level of environmental contaminants grew so high that natural birth without genetic screening became, let's just say, risky. But the screening we provide will allow us to assess any potential genetic risk associated with your child, and if there is a high-risk gene, we can provide the appropriate genetic rehabilitation.
Appropriate?
In utero microsurgery to correct any problems so your baby is born healthy without incipient risk.
I don't like the sound of somebody messing with my child like that.
Without screening, the state will not be responsible.
And if we do agree now?
How far along are you?
26 weeks.
You're not showing as much. We can't perform any required procedure this late in your term. Therapy, if it is necessary, will have to be done after the birth.
Andrea, I think we should leave.
Can we afford to take a chance?
Is there any other way?
Our tests are fast and safe. We will have your test results within a few minutes of the birth.
And if we don't agree, then can we take our baby home?
No. If you agree with the conditions of the RSV's intake procedure, Mr. Manning, you must live by the test results.
Andrea?
Sorry, Mrs. Manning. It's for the child's own welfare. Nurse.
No! I want my baby. Please, there must be some mistake, please.
You knew this could happen. We'll begin therapy immediately.
No! No!
Farv, do this.
There's been an incident at the Reproductive Selection Board. One of their babies is missing.
Any leads?
2 units are canvassing the immediate area now, but so far nothing's turned up.
Who is our contact at the RSB?
The supervisor, Mr. Anglin. He's waiting for you now with the details.
Thank you for your prompt attention, gentlemen. The baby was removed from the nursery early this morning. It is no longer in our facility. We ran an internal audit before notifying the CPB. Logically, the child's parents are the main suspects. As I've learned from experience, it wouldn't be the first time.
Wasn't the baby under supervision?
Oh, yes, Detective, but this isn't a prison. These are the child's parents, Howard and Andrea Manning. I suggest you bring them in immediately.
Well, now that we're down here, we usually like to have a look around, you know, maybe see the missing child's room. You know, unless you mind.
As you can see, all our charges are carefully monitored and supervised.
These kids all seem pretty normal.
You mean physical birth defects? I'm afraid this branch of the RSB is reserved for children with hidden abnormalities. Genes that predispose the child to dangerous or antisocial behavior. Ones that aren't detected prior to conception or cannot be successfully treated.
How long do they stay here?
From the time that the genetic flaw is diagnosed until such time as they can be reinducted as productive members into society. Anywhere from a few months to several years. But we do have a 95% satisfactory placement rate.
Placement?
Obviously, they can't return to their birth families. One of the parents might reinforce the behavior we're trying to cancel out.
What about the other 5%?
I'm afraid they will remain with us. Every person who wins a selection in the baby lottery system is strongly advised to comply with the RSB screening. Unfortunately, there's no obligation to do so.
No obligation. Children born to parents who don't comply with the RSB screening regulations are ineligible for state Medicare, becoming in effect second-class citizens. What kind of choice is that?
Surely, Detective, you must realize that rigorous screening has reduced mutations to a minimum. I mean, the risk factor to society as a whole has been virtually eliminated.
What about the Manning baby?
He carries an excessive risk gene, disposing him to a higher propensity toward violent, aggressive criminal behavior.
5%er?
Possibly. But it's very hard to tell at this early stage.
Okay.
What about the child's parents?
We'll let you know if we find anything.
Who would take our baby?
I'm afraid you and your husband are the primary suspects at this time, Mrs. Manning. That is standard in cases where a child is missing.
You see a baby in here? We should have never let you people take our son.
I don't work for the RSB, Mr. Manning. In case you forgot, I work for the CPB, and we're here to help you find your child. Mr. Manning, could you tell us where you were this morning at about 6 o'clock?
I was here asleep with my wife.
And after that?
And I went to work.
Is there someone who can verify that?
Yes. My supervisor down at TP Maintenance Yard in 3 South.
Mrs. Manning? Mrs. Manning, is there anything at all you can tell us that might help get your son back to where he belongs?
You think that's what we want?
I understood your son was well advanced in his gene therapy. The RSB is the finest center of its kind.
Of its kind. You got that part right. Who are these people that can just take your children away from you?
I know it's hard, Mr. Manning, but I can only assume you knew the risks going in.
Sure. My son's genetically flawed. What does that mean?
We were told he had a high-risk gene.
That's right. He's gonna grow up and tell these sterile bastards to go to hell.
Howard, please, it's not their fault.
Well, whose fault is it then? They told me the bad gene came from me. Maybe so. But does that mean we have to lose our child because of it? Maybe I haven't been the perfect citizen. But I never did anything like taking anybody's kid away from them. I'm sorry. You're trying to help. Detective, you a father yet?
No.
Just wait. This happens. Make you wish you did take your kid.
David, neither the baby's bed nor the toys have been used recently.
Let's get a couple units over here, canvass the building. See if you can't see if anybody's seen or heard anything.
Are you and Olivia planning to have a family?
We're waiting.
For what?
Timing.
Manning, Howard Patrick, charged with civil disobedience March 2054. One of the leaders and organizers of a protest against the cloning law amendments introduced by the Interplanetary Council. Failure to answer summons January 2055. Sentence suspended November 2055. End file.
March 2054.
The protesters believed the amendments would allow cloning to be abused by profiteers.
It's interesting, but the Manning RSB file didn't mention any criminal convictions. Neither did England.
I'm sorry, Mr. England has left for the day. My name is Pontifex. May I help you?
Detectives Favre and Hume, CBP, were working on the Manning case?
Oh, yes, I heard. Very sad.
You heard you weren't here at the time?
Well, yes. I gave the other officers my statement. I'm afraid there wasn't much I could tell them.
We'd just like to take another look at the Manning file.
Oh, I can't give you access to the files.
No problem. Just do me a favor, place a call, get Mr. England down here, and we'll sort this thing out.
That won't be necessary. But you just must remember the files are extremely confidential.
Of course.
Just follow me.
We keep a separate file and gene sample on each of the children.
After 50 years, that must be a very large number of files.
In the 16th century, families used to keep their special children at home and tell everyone the fairies had taken them.
They had poetry, we get technology.
In places like this.
What is it?
That's the drawer to file storage. No one has access at night but me. Excuse me? I'll activate security. It'll seal the floor.
Don't.
Okay. Okay.
Martians 開心 romance， 你可以開心啲 romance。
Do I understand correctly, we've got 2 troubleshooters from Variable Dynamics in holding?
They were trying to break into the records facility at the RSB.
You don't think Verdine has anything to do with this kidnapping?
Hard to say. Right now, their troubleshooters aren't exactly cooperating.
Did you charge them?
At this point, it's unlawful entry, but I think we should hold back on processing them until we know what's what.
Well, I'm getting a lot of calls from the IPC, and they would like to know what's what. Verdine used to supervise the RSB and the baby lottery until the new protocols took effect in 2055. If they're on this case, I need to know.
Okay. By the way, any follow-up on the canvas of the Manning building?
Nothing. And from the reports I'm reading, most of the neighbors sympathize. If they did take their child back, I don't think we're going to get a lot of public-minded citizens dropping a dime on them.
You say he works for Verdine?
That is correct. Do you recognize him, Mr. Pontifex?
No, I don't.
What about the woman?
No, never seen him before.
They say this is not the first time they've done oversight work for the RSB.
Well, the RSB's a big place. A lot of different people from private companies and government agencies pass through there every day.
But not all those people have access to the babies or to the classified files.
No, they don't. Look, I've never seen these people, and I really have to get back to the RSB. I have an incident report to file, and...
Of course. From time to time, Verdine acts as a consultant to the RSB.
So what are we talking here? Genetic consultant, administrative consultant, what?
Detective, a child with a potentially dangerous gene is missing. I thought I could help out by going through the file.
In the middle of the night, using an expired security pass.
When my superiors find out I'm here, they'll answer all your questions. You did notify them that I'm in your custody.
The person we talked to at the RSB said you didn't have authorization.
But I did have authorization.
From who?
The supervisor, Mr. Englund. You can check my econ files. Or better yet, why don't you talk to Mr. Englund directly?
What do you say?
Pondovec says he has never seen either one of them.
All right, why don't you try to get a hold of England? I'll go talk to the woman, see if her story matches up with Shelley's.
Computer, connect to England at the RSB.
Lauren, I'm Detective Hume.
We've met, remember?
Mm-hmm.
How long do you plan on keeping me here?
Until you answer a few questions. So what were you and Shelley doing in that restricted area of the RSB?
We were just doing our job.
Which is what?
We work for Veridine. We're one of the entities that supports the RSB. There are certain areas, the bioethics of genetic engineering, where we provide oversight.
And as part of that, you keep tabs on genetically flawed kids, right?
Our area of expertise is the individual gene. We don't pretend to be experts on the child.
Does part of your monitoring and overview include, say, kidnapping?
Since you ask, no. By now, my partner must have provided you details of the official permission we have to access RSB files.
I'll tell you what, I'll get back to you when I got some questions you can answer.
You can't just leave me in here like this.
Sure I can. Lauren did take the baby. She didn't do it out of any maternal instinct. There's not enough warmth in that woman to nurture a snake.
Unfortunately, Shelley and Lauren's statements regarding permission from England appear to be accurate.
So what's he doing in business with these two clowns from Veridine?
Good question. Every time I run a check, I get a lockout. They have an unusually high-level Veridine security code.
Hume. This man represents the two Veridine employees we have in holding.
And I want to know why they're still there. Now that you've seen the document granting them access to the RSB facility, where they were mistakenly arrested.
We were acting on information from an official of the RSB.
Mistakes happen. We are prepared to overlook it.
What else are you prepared to overlook?
I don't follow.
How about kidnapping? Where do you stand on that?
Why don't you charge one of my clients and find out? Meantime, failing other charges against my clients, I insist you release them immediately. There are no other charges, are there?
For now.
I want a warrant to open up their security clearances.
Done. You think they took the kid?
He was already gone when they broke in. It's more like they were there to take something or cover it up.
I'm putting night watch on them until you can talk to Mr. Englund tomorrow morning.
How you doing?
Okay.
Why inside your home.
Yeah.
Well, that wasn't exactly a kiss to set a girl's heart on fire.
I'm sorry.
A case?
Case. A baby was taken from the selection board today.
Somebody kidnapped a baby.
He was in the special nursery that they have. He was tagged. You know, with those genetic markers that they use. They say he has a gene that might make him excessively violent.
Well, it must be extremely excessive. I mean, the rules governing the baby lottery are set up to protect the family as well as the children.
How do they know? I mean, you give a kid life and you bring him home and you try to raise him right, that should make the difference. Parents should always be allowed to raise their kids. It's simple. But we look to the state and we expect them to guarantee us some sort of perfection. It doesn't make any sense, the whole thing.
The genetic monitoring laws were set up to protect everybody, David. I mean, after the catastrophes of 2020, the entire genetic pool was affected by contamination, right?
What are you talking about? This child's not deformed. He might have some gene that would make him prone to violence. What does that mean? Huh? What does it mean? You know what it means? They don't know. They don't know. They may be able to slice and dice a gene a million different ways, but that don't make them God.
So this has really affected you?
Why wouldn't it? What did you think, huh? I'm sorry. I'm just done babbling here.
It's okay. We've never really talked about this. Having kids is just something we kind of put on hold. And I didn't know you felt so strongly about them. Now I do.
Good morning, David. I've been running a search routine on the Manning file.
You up all night?
Yes.
You do this?
Seemed appropriate for all-night police work.
You find anything?
The file has been tampered with. All information regarding Howard Manning's conviction was deleted by the RSB supervisor in charge of the file, Mr. P. Englund.
You're a busy guy, Englund.
I'm a busy man with many responsibilities. In a way, you and I have the same job, Detective. We both defend people. In my case, it's children.
So what'd you think you were defending when you gave the Manning file to 2 agents from Veridine?
I did what I thought was best.
Mr. Englund, you must be aware that at best, your actions are a contravention of RSB policy and in all likelihood make you an accessory to a criminal act.
Did you take the baby, Englund?
No.
No? You sure? Because if you're involved, I don't care how many lawyers you think you can hide behind, you're going down. I promise you that.
I had nothing to do with kidnapping that child.
Then may I suggest you tell us everything you know about who did?
This facility requires the support of many private institutions. It's costly to run. Tax dollars alone...
What'd they pay for the kid?
I simply informed Mr. Shelley of the arrival of a uniquely rare gene. That's all. Before they could do anything, the child was taken from the nursery. I swear to that.
Then why do they have to break in after?
There is some DNA information stored in our records department. Perhaps they thought they could recreate the gene by using that information.
Who else at Veridine knows about your little arrangement?
I don't know. I don't know. I made this statement of my own volition. I want that noted. I want it noted that I cooperated.
Anything happens to that kid, your cooperation don't mean nothing. You know, if Shelley and Lauren could get the gene from a file, they didn't need to take the kid.
True. But their chance of success would be significantly greater if they did have access to original material.
Them breaking in, I would suggest that's all they have to go on.
Agreed.
Hey, out of the way, out of the way. Excuse me. CPB. Excuse me.
David?
What do you got?
You went that way.
Empty. I got the stairs. I'll get back her.
We got Pontifex and Holden, but he's not talking.
Ballistics confirms his weapon was recently fired, and the wounds produced were consistent with its type.
Veridine have any comment on the death of their employee?
Yeah. They think it's a tragic misunderstanding. I did get an answer on the high security classification. They're internal security. Both of them. Lauren, the one that's still out there, she's a nasty piece of work. Got her training in the assessor's office. Special ops.
Consortium companies do not usually deploy such valuable assets unless the stakes are extremely high.
I'm told a gene as rare as the one the baby carries is truly unique. It's a once-in-a-generation occurrence.
That explains Veridine's involvement. What about Pontifex?
Maybe he's in it with England.
I don't think so. I'm quite sure that until we arrested them, Pontifex had never seen either Shelley or Loran before.
There's an underground group called the Alliance. They relocate families to the new territories.
Like families with genetically flawed children.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we should go have another chat with Pontifex.
You revised the audit on the Manning file. You recommended the child be left with his parents.
I revised the form and gave the child a low rating in terms of risk assessment.
Why did you do that?
Well, he did inherit a risk gene from his father. And since in utero therapy was not possible, I felt parental supervision and a proper home environment would be a benefit.
So you tampered with the form. What else?
People like England, with ties to the consortium, would never let this child go. He'd never have a chance for a normal life.
What's important, isn't it?
The child belongs with his family.
I agree. Which is why you were at the Mannings, right? You're there to help them get the child back.
Yes. I took the baby. I'm not a man of violence. But that baby belongs with his mother and father.
So where are the Mannings now?
Mr. Pontifex, we know you are connected to a group that relocates families with genetically flawed children to the territory.
Is that where they are? Are they with the Alliance?
Your cooperation now may assist the court in mitigating your murder case.
That child needed protection from the law and wasn't getting it. I helped. I'm charged with murder. What more can you do to me?
Oh, you think this is over? Shelley's partner Lauren is out there right now hunting them down. And when she finds them, and she will find them, that boy will end up permanently missing. And so will his parents. Is that what you want? I don't think it is.
When I found out that England told Verdine about this child, see, you gotta understand, this child's genetic flaw is not high risk. It's rare. Yes, it can lead to criminal behavior, but its primary trait is leadership. Strong, independent motivation. Verdine wants to own this child's genetic code.
So stop them.
Please, Mr. Pontifex. Help us find the Mannings.
They were gonna wait for me.
Where? Where?
I can try to take you to them.
Good. You did good.
Tier 7.
Which way?
We just start walking. They'll find us.
Good afternoon, Mr. Pontifex. Follow me, please.
Where are we going?
I have not been informed of your final destination. If you do not wish to continue, please inform me now.
It's all right. This is the way they work. At least it was like this the last time I was down here.
Thank you. Good day.
Good day, that's it? We just wait here? Exactly.
City Hall used to be right above us about 70 years ago. There's a whole system of these garages stretching out of the city.
An underground railroad?
Yeah. We keep a few of these cars running to ferry people when we have enough.
I see they got to you, Pontifex.
Mr. Manning, the woman at your apartment is after you. Please, come with us.
And you think they're gonna help? Listen to what he's saying, Manning. We're here to help you.
Please don't take my baby away again.
It's falling on deaf ears, Andrea. I'm sure these two don't have any idea what that's like.
Get them going the other way, then come around towards them up.
Stay here.
Apparently not all the warrior androids have been decommissioned.
Wait here, wait. Okay, come on. Come on. Come on, let's go, come on.
Let go, you're gonna hurt him. Oh, please don't hurt my baby.
You okay?
My regeneration is almost complete. I'll summon backup.
You gonna make it? Hey, you hang in there, Pontifex. You hang in there. Come on, Pontifex, you hang in there, all right? Pontifex was a hero. You might be right about that. I lost my child once. I couldn't let it happen again.
Please, you have to understand. Our baby is everything to us. Everything.
You should get going. Go on. We'll make sure no one follows. I hope one day you have a child of your own. And you'll know how grateful I am. Good luck.
So we just let them go.
They escaped. We just didn't notice until it was too late.
Then we should return to the entrance to meet the support team and give them the greatest possible head start.
It's a shame the child and his parents got away before you had a chance to stop them.
Yeah. What about Veridine? What about the warrior android they were using?
The assessor's office is over there tearing their special ops unit apart one brick at a time.
Not good enough.
I agree. So does the IPC. With that android and England statement as proof, their indictments are being prepped as we speak. Looks like we may be shutting down the whole division.
One more thing. I want this to be my policy weapon.
What's up? What's that look? I can't tell.
I didn't really do my job today.
How so?
You remember that family I told you about? The Mannings, the ones that took their kid back. I had them and I watched them just walk away. They're headed for the territories right now.
What? You wondering if you did the right thing?
No.
I love you, dear.